Alright, it's 1 week since we've installed this package. It's our first inspection. We're going to go in, we're looking for eggs. We're going to get rid of the queen cage. So before we start, we want to make sure we have everything we need. We got a spray bottle with sugar water. I have extra sugar water to feed them. I'm using a pail feeder in this one, so instead of replacing the sugar water in that pail, I'm just going to swap out pail feeders. Much easier. I got my frame perch, I got pollen patty if they're going to need more, and I got a Apivar strip I'm going to start treating them with now that if she's out and laying. That way we'll get down on our mites right away and kind of start fresh. I also have my smoker running. A lot of people think they don't need it right now, but it's better. Now's the time to get used to lighting your smoker, get it smoking with the nice cool white smoke. It's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. I want to say a couple things about the smoke that people don't get. We're not using smoke to asphyxiate bees or to drug them or to put them to sleep. Smoke does two things. Bees will run away from smoke just like we want to get away from smoke, so you can get them to move with it. But most importantly, it masks the guard pheromone. So when you're going in, the guard bees release the guard pheromone. The smoke blocks that, and so you don't have all these bees that are on the defensive. So the other thing we need, well, and I have my glasses. That's important for finding eggs, for some people more than others. And we always have a plan. So our plan is just to go in, look for eggs. We're not spending hours looking for the queen. We're going to get rid of the queen cage, and then we're going to make sure that they have everything they need and close them right back up for a week. So we'll start off with a little bit of smoke at the entrance, a little smoke up top. Oops. That's it for now. So in a week, that's the original pollen patty. It was probably like this big, so they've eaten through quite a bit, but I might not have to put any more on. There's not much left, so it's good that we're in here. So they've gone through just about a gallon. There's only a half an inch or so left in this. Take these out of the way. I like working a hive. I put my frame perch here and I work from the other side. My hive tool, that's another important thing to have. So we always start from the outside no matter what we're working. I'm going to spray these as I go, that way they'll be done. We always keep spraying them. A little bit of extra sugar water. This gets the bees interested in these frames. They'll roam on it, that'll get their pheromone on them. And then they're more apt to draw them out with less problems. Not problems, but more apt to just draw them and work those frames without you having to manipulate them. So this is our first frame that they're actually working. And so they've just started this one, mostly sugar water. No real need to look for eggs on that one. Slide that back. Now we're getting closer to the center. Again, mostly sugar water. I'm not going to really look for eggs a lot on this one. They're working both sides of it though. Now we're getting closer to the queen cage. And all right, I already see eggs. Yeah, I don't know if you can see these in here, and because this is about 4 or 5 days, there's real young larvae in there, and that's good looking larva. It's swimming in feed. You don't want it to be dry. These eggs are just laying down a little bit, so they're not as young. When you're looking for your queen, you want to be able to recognize the different stages of brood, and it'll give you a better clue on where your queen's been and where she might be. This is laying down, so maybe she laid these yesterday, the day before. They're not so fresh. This one I see eggs too. It's kind of laying down. When you see eggs that are standing right up in the back of the the cell standing up straight. That means they've just been laid, and that's a good frame to check out for the queen. So we know she's out and laying, and that was one of our main goals. This is the frame that has the queen cage on it. We're going to pull that off. Set that aside. Now she's laid here too. There's lots of eggs. And actually, here's our queen. Way over here on the edge. You see her, Austin? So we spotted her. We didn't need to because we saw all those eggs. And we're good. So that's gonna go there. Rather than pull that elastic band off, I'm gonna just cut it with my hive tool and get it out of there. That's the quickest, easiest way. We're just gonna continue to go through here just because I want to see how well she's doing. This frame also has a lot of eggs. They haven't worked over here. I can give it a little spray. Nothing crazy. A little extra spray there. And so they've worked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're on their 6th frame here. I'm going to spray anything they're not working just to get them interested in it. And then these 2 outside, they're just starting on this one. Right now we're not going to do any frame manipulation. We'll let them get going before we start moving frames around. And then this outside one they haven't done anything with. So we'll just give it a spray and get them to wander around on it. So now we're going to put everything away back the way it was. Remember, pull these in tight to each other. These spaces are for a reason. I'm going to be gentle because our queen's on this one. Make sure these are all in tight. Now we can put our last 2 in. I'm going to give them a little bit more pollen patty just so I'm confident that they'll have enough to last a week. I'm probably going to peek in here maybe Thursday or something when the weather's good, not to actually inspect, just to check this this bucket feeder. Before I put that bucket feeder on, I'm treating with Apivar. Only about 5 frames of bees now. That's good for 1 strip of Apivar. All you do is you hang it in here, right in the middle there. Good spot. Every time you go in the hive and inspect every week, you're going to move that around. I'm going to start with 1 strip, maybe 3rd or 4th week. That'll start my 6-week treatment. Maybe the 3rd week or 4th week, when they start building out and the population increases, I might add a 2nd strip of Apivar, and that will finish up my 6 weeks with 2. If you're using mediums frames, that Apivar strip's a little too long. You can just cut it in half and hang 2 halves. It's the same thing. That way it fits in there. So pollen patty, another gallon of feed. Sprayed all the frames. Basically putting it together. Austin, I forget anything?
I don't think so.
Close them up. And that's it. We're going to wait a week. The only thing I might do, like I said, is check on sugar water, make sure they have enough. If you're using a frame feeder, you can take your hive tool. You're going to have a few drowners. You can take your hive tool, just scoop them out, pour in some new sugar water. If you're using a hive top feeder, same thing. You can take the float and scoop out any dead bees that might have drowned, and then give them at least a gallon, and just maybe we don't want them to run out. We want to keep them fed. And next week we're going to look again, and there's going to be a lot more progress made. So hey, have a happy Easter, and I'll see you next time.